Just to hear from your thoughts here, Tony, on how have you seen D365 clients navigate the flexibility of the product? Because if you back up and look at D365 compared to other ERP systems in the market, especially the big names, I'd say D365 is a bit more flexible. You can do more with it. There's more, it's an open architecture, things like that. But that's good. That's mostly a good thing, but it can also create, to your point, some, you made the comment about change management a minute ago. It could create some change management issues because now all of a sudden, just because the software can do a bunch of different things and you've got all this flexibility, doesn't necessarily mean you should go down a bunch of rabbit holes as you're going through the implementation. Have you seen companies struggle with the need or the want to leverage that flexibility, but also implement more standard common processes across the entire organization and have seen them navigate that trade-off?
Absolutely. I think, first of all, what we see pretty immediately is the culture. One of the things I try to do is to figure out what's the culture when I walk in an organization, because that's going to dictate a lot of how you solve this particular problem. Because you may have less of a mountain to climb if your culture is, we're going to adapt, we're going to adapt to the software. And so if you've got an organization that thinks like that, is ready to embrace that, it's a big hurdle to get past. It's the organizations where the culture has been one of development. I've got a customer like that recently too. Very strong IT organization. They like to, build things. And I actually I'm going to back up. I had a customer that was a merger. And this is even more interesting. The merger was, on one side, I had an organization in the merger that was accustomed to out-of-the-package software and adapting. And then I had another culture on the other side that was I want to build everything culture. And it was a real, you could see the culture clash. So trying to navigate that's the first thing, because my feeling is that you'll even have some companies who want to go down the path of choosing the ERP that tends to give them that gives them more opportunities to self-serve and build custom components to it. So that constantly comes up. And so there's a constant debate or education to get the organizations to understand what's the impact of doing it. I'm not saying, don't go best of breed or don't go down a certain path, but understand what's the value and what you're getting out of that decision. One of the things that we try to do back in the selection when we're doing the digital strategy exercise, we try to assess the value of the software and the solutions so that they have a good decision point to come back to, and executive teams can say, well, wait a minute. We had these 8 or 9 strategic goals we're trying to reach. We defined strategic requirements that have to be met by the software, and we linked them to the goals. And we think if we get these features as a strategic requirement, it yields a certain amount of value. And so trying to teach them and educate them to always come back to make decisions based on the value proposition and linking that to capabilities in the software will help you make that decision. When you have to start thinking about investing in a custom solution, it's going to cost you X amount of dollars versus or 10X what it's going to cost you to implement as a package solution. So education, helping them understand the value prop around the implementation, and linking that specifically to the project and even specifically to capabilities of the software helps with that dilemma. But it's a real cultural thing. So we're constantly confronted with how to debate that. But we do run in situations where we have a client that wants to choose a ERP solution that gives them more flexibility to build is the right word too. Odoo comes to mind with a lot of my customers. I had a customer that was really wanting to go down the Odoo path. And was interesting because one of the things that we educated, when we did the original digital assessment, we did do a current state assessment of staff and skill, which is kind of interesting. What they said was bandwidth, IT bandwidth was a big problem for them. In other words, we don't have enough people to maintain all the custom solutions that we built and the ones coming. And our response to that was, well, wait a minute. Now you want to go to a platform that gives you more capability to go build more stuff, but you just said that your current staffing levels don't support that. And that was a real eye opener for them when you put it in that way. So
Microsoft gave them more of a sort of a hybrid of commercial off-the-shelf package software, but
that's what absolutely. In this particular situation, it came down to interesting Odoo and Microsoft, and the trend was to go Microsoft because it give them a little bit more of a blend, right? One of the things we try to help address is this culture in IT of needing some control, but at the same time, giving them a solution that one meets their investment in Microsoft, meets their cultural need to have the keys or build things, if you will, but at the same time, giving them the balance of allowing them to have a lot of capabilities built into the software. So that they don't have to go out and maintain software because they don't have the staff to do it.